You ever watched a podcast of moms?
No.
That's what it was.
It's a Mad Lib. You can fill in whatever you think we're saying.
Yeah.
Tell us why you're appealing this decision. And I just said, I'm literally not a bot. This is my personal
That
phone
sounds
number.
like exactly what a bot would
Yeah.
say.
I promise I'm a human.
Another thing in a long list of things that I really don't like is surprises and opening things in front of people.
The reason I'm stress level Chase is because I'm trying to control everything and be Chase instead of let it go and go back to zero and just let the Lord take care of it. So recently in all of that, it's just come back to this idea of trust, hoping in Christ, letting go.
You've just got to be okay to not be in control of the situation, even though we want to be in control of the situation. But do we really want to be in control of the situation? We really don't want to play God in a sense, but it's like that's kind of what we're accustomed to in our mind, is just like having our hand on it.
So that's why I didn't answer the phone. But apparently it was an emergency that he was calling me about.
Hey, we couldn't really hear that, David. Could you cut that up? What did you say?
Cut.
What?
Take two.
Okay.
He likes the cold opens.
Oh,
Yeah, that was ice cold.
do you want it on the table or not?
That was
It's fine.
I can hide it in here.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. It's not going to work.
That was greeters on Sunday morning cold.
I heard that Mr. Ted Bridges, keeper of the COVID list, brought the greeters some hand warmers yesterday.
Yes, he did.
To
Electronic ones, not just.
Hey,
Yeah.
I've got a set of those, but I'm always afraid they're just gonna burn me.
just stop messing with it. We're going to go with it. Okay.
Well, just restart it. Come on.
Well, that was the second.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna start, say,
All right. Well, let's make sure everybody's ready.
well, I thought we were ready.
That's
Then you
why I
talking like
started
Sharpie.
the,
We
that's
didn't know
why I
what you
started
were
the
doing.
episode.
Me and Lance are over here looking like, is this it?
No, actually, I knew what he was doing, but I don't think either one of y'all knew what he was doing.
No, I was not following what he was doing. It's kind of like y'all didn't follow my
Okay, let me do this.
Tony Stark joke.
We're starting.
There you go.
You want to put your head in the shot, David?
No.
Okay. That would have been the third opportunity for a good cold open, but I guess we'll just start with this. Welcome back to the journey, everybody. This is episode 54. The whole team is back together today after we recorded an episode without Lance last week in order to have a guest on. So Lance, how did you, have you listened to it yet?
I have. Yeah. I
Did
feel
you
like
watch or listen?
I watched, and I feel like it was supposed to have been my episode.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel like it's been 6 weeks since I've been
Are you
on the podcast.
groundhog?
Yeah, it's been a long month. I'm glad we're into February.
Well, it has been a long time since you recorded because it's been a long time since we recorded, period. Since we took last week off for the lighting install that did not take place. And so hopefully, fingers crossed, this Friday there will not be or this Thursday and Friday, there will not be a Arctic blast from here to Auburn so that our boy Eric can get here and install our lights. And maybe next week will be a whole new era on the journey.
We hope so.
So anyway, what do y'all want to talk about today? We just had a guest, so we can recap Dougie's appearance. Last week was quite the fiasco, post-production wise for the show. And so from here on out, my stress level is just going to be internally through the roof until each episode is recorded, finished, and published.
We did have a snafu or two.
I think the people should know all the hard work behind the scenes.
Well, so last Monday, I come in. I was all excited because we weren't recording last Monday because of the lighting install. So I was all excited to get a head start. I usually don't start editing until Tuesday. I was all excited to get a head start on Monday with all the free time I was going to have. And I opened up the file and there's no audio on the video. It's just us talking in silence like
Have you ever watched a podcast of moms?
No,
That's what it was.
no, it was just,
It's a Mad Lib. You can fill in whatever you think we're saying.
Yeah.
it was like
That
a
would have been
silent
dangerous.
movie from the 30s or whenever before movies had audio. So to myself, I began thinking, okay, this is exactly, Chase kept saying, what are you so worried about? What are you so stressed about? I mean, something like this would be something that I would be stressed about. And that's why we always record a separate audio track. And I was debating, okay, am I going to have to use it? Or are we just not going to have video this week? On our third episode in, we're not going to have our video. But thankfully, it took a while, but I was able to line up when I took a breath at the beginning of episode 53, asking our guest, Doug, if he could hand me the piece of tape that was over there at the end of the table. And so that's where I was able to line it up, and took a little bit of extra time, but we got it all done. And had I not said anything right now, the audience probably never would have known. But I feel like because of the backstory of me being stressed about the production of this, I feel like it was necessary.
I think it was done very well because you just couldn't tell.
You didn't
looked
notice
like it was
that,
natural.
sometimes the audio and the video don't match up.
Drives me crazy.
Man, and you're like, it's just ever so slightly off, but not this.
I didn't even notice it. So I didn't even realize it happened. I listened a little bit to that episode in the car on video, which I can't get into watching a podcast on a video. So it's just not my thing. But I've heard from multiple people through our audience that kind of both sides, like they are like, I like the video and I like listening to the video. I'm excited it's on video now. I feel like I'll engage more. But then there's folks, and a lot of the folks that are like listening in a commute or in the car some sort of way are the ones that are listening to podcasts. And so they've talked a lot about listening to it compared to watching it. But I did listen to it in the car, but something's kind of wonky about my car Bluetooth because the audio is never synced with a video.
Oh, that's rough.
And so Collins or Asher will normally be watching a football game on the way home from church and on my phone or iPad, and I'll have it synced. And like
the play happens.
yeah,
and you hear
the
it.
play happens, and then you kind of hear what happens. And so, anyways, I didn't realize that anything happened outside of, was last week also the YouTube channel scenario?
Yeah.
Yes. So that was fiasco number 2 last week.
Yeah.
So I, pushed through the adversity of having to come up with audio out of thin air, only to find out on,
The devil wasn't going to get you last week, was he?
well,
He almost did.
Tuesday morning, I thought he was.
Whoa.
So I think, did we have staff meeting Tuesday? No, that was Tuesday afternoon. So Tuesday morning, again, on the heels of Monday's fiasco, I was like, I've still got a little bit extra time this week because of the schedule that we had with staff meeting last week. So I'm still, even though everything that had happened with the audio, I'm still ahead. I'm still going to get this done quicker than I would, as quick as I would hope to. Well, I'm in the middle of editing episode 53, and Austin, a loyal viewer,
He broke the YouTube channel.
he broke the YouTube
You
channel.
broke the news.
Broke the news for sure. Yeah.
No, we just blame him for breaking the YouTube channel.
Well, I can't do that because we're
sitting in some chairs.
we're sitting in,
Oh, yeah.
what Austin
and
built
he's,
for
and
us.
he's bringing us some merch
He is.
to give away.
He is. So
What?
Chase will have to tell us about that. But anyway,
Say less.
before we get to that, Austin texted me and said, the podcast is gone.
That was it. Like, we need to know verbatim. Like, was it like a 911 emergency text message?
Well, where'd it go? I'm terrible at finding text messages. Okay, here it is.
Type it in.
Hey man, y'all texting essays. Y'all must love each other.
We do love each other.
Okay,
Austin's a good friend.
Shout out to AM.
So actually, first he called me.
And of course, your
And
phone's on Do Not Disturb,
My
so
phone,
you didn't answer.
yeah, my phone's on Do Not Disturb.
So you have to call the second time. for it
Again,
to
I was
ring.
trying to get everything done, so that's why I didn't answer the phone. But apparently, it was an emergency that he was calling me about. And so, 10:58 Tuesday morning, he says the podcast just disappeared from YouTube, and then he sent me a screenshot that says this video is no longer available because the YouTube account associated with this video has been terminated.
Man, they just put all the business out there.
So
Not
we-
like this video is just not available.
Did your throat drop to your knees, or did it drop all the way to your toes, or what was your reaction?
No, this was the GIF I sent back. the guy who just
not the meme of that lady like falling to her knees and like no.
no. And so he said, I was literally watching, then refreshed, and it was gone. And I just said, what a nightmare.
But we are back.
We are.
So far.
So
For
far.
now, like as of this recording, we're back. Will we
Yeah.
still be there when I edit this episode and go to upload it? Who knows?
So after a deep investigation, what did you determine caused the channel to go dark?
Well, if you will remember, you won't remember because you weren't here. But if the audience will remember, on episode 53, Chase was asking about the YouTube channel and all the various ways and platforms that people can watch the journey. And I explained to him that I was probably not going to venture any further video wise than YouTube and our website, which I subsequently changed this weekend, did upload the video to Substack. But I was explaining that I had ran into some trouble with the Heart Truth Devotions YouTube channel that I had just tried to create. That it locked me out of that because I had too many Google accounts tied to my phone number. And so I had to use David's phone number, who does not have a microphone. I had to use David's phone number for the Heart Truth YouTube channel. It locked me out anyway. And so I was talking about that on episode 53. And then mere days later, for the same reason, because I also used my phone number for the 2-factor authentication on the Journey Google account, I believe they suspected that I was a bot.
Which
And you had to file an appeal.
I filed an appeal and they don't, it's not like a, what are you laughing at?
I guess we could explore whether he's a bot.
That's what I was thinking. I mean,
We
I don't
could.
think bots don't have hobbies. I would think
They
that-
do have hobbies.
do you hold down
They
the
do
box
now.
when it says
They do
are you
now.
a human? Hold down if you're a human.
Bots do have hobbies,
I
as
would
we
think they read a
As
lot.
we have established.
we should. I don't want to get too far off of this because we need to cover it and then be done
Move
with it. But we should talk to Chase about Multibook.
Oh, I thought about sending him a link, but I thought, man, that will scramble his brain more
Right.
more than it already
No, I
is.
got too much scramble in my brain right
Well,
now.
somebody just make a note of that.
Old what?
Multibook.
Multibook.
Google it.
All right.
So
Rock it.
So anyway, that's what I suspect happened to the YouTube channel. And so I submitted an appeal, and it was not an extensive appeal form. It's literally one text box. It's like,
Tell us why you
tell us why you're appealing this decision. And I just said, I'm literally not a bot. This is my personal
That
phone
sounds
number.
like exactly what a bot would
Yeah.
say.
I promise I'm a human.
I am 12. So
No,
Some
they're like,
think
you
you-
have 12 accounts.
Some think he is 12.
Yeah.
Just gonna say it.
I don't
Shout out
have
Brother
12
Tim.
accounts. I added it up and I have 4.
That's all you have.
For
It's
bot
4?
accounts.
4 Google accounts.
That's
Tied
all
to
you
my
can
phone
have.
number.
So the algorithm knocked our channel out in the first place. And does the appeal go to a human?
I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
I doubt it. So a non-human took us down, and I'm sure a non-human
Brought
Brought us back.
brought us back. And so I'm sure
Man, we're like Rocky.
there's a parable in that somewhere.
Yes.
But so all day Tuesday and all night Tuesday, I'm wondering, first
Did
of
you
all,
even sleep that night? You just couldn't eat dinner. You were so you
The
were just
journey has ended.
stomach in knots.
no, I mean, it wasn't that severe, but I did have a lot of anxiety about what to do because I think I explained on subsequent episodes why I wanted to create a separate channel rather than just uploading to our Ridgecrest YouTube channel. And so I could have very easily just started uploading there, but that would have defeated the purpose of why I created a separate Journey channel to begin with. And so I was glad that this happened while we only had 2 videos and 12
Right.
subscribers.
Right.
But I still didn't want to lose that. And so I was really just praying that the appeal process would work and it would come back. And lo and behold, Wednesday morning, it came back minus 1 episode 51. I guess it was episode 51, the 30-day shed was back. We're not calling it what it was anymore because I have
Suspicions.
theories about why it was taken off, because they gave the channel back, but then they said that this video has been removed for breaking YouTube policies. And of course, they don't tell you what policy you broke.
And of course, they tried to blame it on me.
you're just,
Well,
My sponsorship with Body Armor.
I did not try to blame. I didn't say that at all.
I'm just saying, it was stated.
Yeah, I said that.
I just have a hard time thinking that the word shred would
Yeah,
knock an
that's-
entire,
Well, I know that, but
but you never know.
YouTube's gotten a lot better, but they've pulled a lot of videos off over the last decade for a lot of stupid reasons.
But as you said, before we went to YouTube, you philosophically, you would choose not to, but a lot of podcasts, more people watch them via YouTube than listen to them via
Oh yeah.
Apple or Spotify. So
That's the biggest.
Maybe they were censoring because you were talking about your Bible reading plan.
I don't think so. I'm not going to get into a censorship industrial complex. We don't do that on this program.
Okay.
So anyway, long story short, YouTube channel came back. I was a little upset that episode 51 was gone. But then the next day, episode 51 was back. So all three,
And you didn't even have to appeal that.
I didn't even have to appeal it.
but
which-
it was a rocky week.
it was a very rocky week, and I just still none of it really makes sense. Like I don't know why that video would be removed for violating YouTube policies and then just suddenly
Well, I think
Yeah.
it just brings to the table the
Oh, no.
urgency,
I don't know if I like where this is going.
I don't either.
the urgency of every podcast. We never know when it
Never
could
know
be the
when it could
last
be
one
last.
on YouTube, you know?
That's what Lance was thinking 2 weeks ago. This was my last.
My one shot.
All right. Before you go whatever direction you're going today, I just going to jump back to a couple things in previous episodes. First shout out is 28 subscribers on the YouTube channel. So thank you all for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, we would like for you
To subscribe.
like, share.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell. I need to get the correct order of that down because y'all might have noticed I put in a graphic, but the animation was not in the order that we were saying. And I've already forgotten which one it is. So we'll have to nail that down.
All right. Well, you let us know that in the days ahead. But 28 subscribers. I do need to go back to episode 52 for a minute because we have our first, we've already had a giveaway winner. Lance Whitehurst. Talked to him multiple times about going to lunch with us. I told him to talk to our producer and let our producer plan that for him. So shout out to Lance. Still open to taking somebody else to lunch out, but I don't remember where we landed on that. But we have another giveaway winner that came from episode 52. And there was a little bit of discussion outside of the comment or the chat
Yep.
about this. And due to the fact that we did not address the winner in episode 53 and had to kind of explain the details.
Yeah,
Through
we
a-
had not finished. 52 was not uploaded by the time we did 53.
Right. So we shot those 2 videos in that 1 week. And so we weren't able to do that. So we have a new cup, though, going out to Mitch Lucky.
Yep. What
So-
a lucky guy.
Shout out to Mitch. I brought a Sharpie for all of us to sign.
Dang it. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
So I brought us a Sharpie here for all of us to auto his cup here. I'm going to pass it around.
Yeah, make sure you hand wash that now. Not
I
dishwasher safe.
just got a registration for Man Church that looks like that.
It's kind of hard to sign a round.
Hey, put it as close to the mic as you can. When it gets to you, put it as close to the mic as you can. So maybe we can pick up the
auto.
Oh,
the
I sign
audio.
autographs all the time. So
Oh, okay.
So shout out to Mitch. Thanks for watching and commenting on episode 52. Your new cup is available here with our producer for you to pick up at any point in time you would
so
like.
you're putting that on me, then I just need to keep it.
Yeah,
pretty
it's-
much, yeah.
I took care of who got it. I brought it today. I brought the Sharpie, got it all figured out. But you're going to take care of getting it to him.
Yep.
or it'll be in Broxton's
It'll be in Broxton's office.
office
We'll make sure it
whenever
gets
you're,
there.
whenever you want to come grab that. A couple other
Did anybody want your used cup?
no, nobody.
I've had multiple people say nobody wants Chase's crusty cup.
I'm not. There was a Chase. Do you remember this? There used to be a cup when you did student ministry that you had in your office. It was like a metal. It didn't really have a top.
Had that little leather thing on the bottom of it.
Yeah. And it was like, the thing was molded up. I think
Yeah,
you
I
finally
probably
threw it away.
Yeah. I'm the world's worst at, especially in my office, like having a cup and leaving it, not thinking about it. So
Why do you use one of these?
nobody wanted my
That's not good for the environment.
used cup. So, couple other comments just to bring out though. There was one comment on there that liked Auburn's idea of taking everybody to lunch. So Auburn,
Yeah, I didn't remember that, but
I'll let
I
you
mean-
follow up with Bradley
Hey,
about
remember,
that.
I've already pulled some footage and put them in new episodes when somebody tries to pull a 9CV.
oh yeah, we're not non-CVers here.
So then
Need a 9CV sound effect.
we had an Andrew, another listener that wants my green hoodie to be given away on the episode.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, I think you'd have to wait that one out a little bit.
Yeah.
At least get through the winter.
I'm not opposed to giving away the green hoodie with the Ridgecrest logo on it, but we need that. There would need to be some kind of stakes would have to be high for that one for
Yeah.
me.
For you to give away the Philadelphia green.
You should give that away on our 100th subscriber.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that. 100th subscriber or something like that. I would be game for it. And then episode 53, just really quick, shouting out some comments. This was a pretty cool idea. Andrew, same listener, audio or viewer now, wanted to say the winner of the competition should get to play disc golf with Dad and Lance
Yeah.
sometime. And he also gave David a shout out that he could ride his e-bike so he doesn't feel left out.
That's amazing.
And so couple people think David need a mic. Got a couple
I'm
folks.
on board. Hashtag David needs a mic.
Neil, shout out to Neil, commenting, I think, on every episode so
Yeah.
far. So thankful.
Yeah, and we need to address that. Okay. Neil's comments on the first, I guess it would be episode
Yeah,
51.
y'all didn't have to jump him in the
y'all
comments.
really jumped down Neil's neck about, his confusion with Lance Griffin and Lance Whitehurst.
No, but I think what he was saying
I think
was
he wasn't confused.
I don't think he was confused. I think
Because-
he was saying since Lance Whitehurst had been on
had
the
been a
show.
guest, that disqualified him.
Yeah, and I
think
could
that's what he
see.
meant.
I could see.
Makes a case.
We're not obviously, all
right.
going that far.
Well, let's
but
settle this. Neil, if you're watching, which you should be,
Dang, you didn't have to look right at that camera.
if you're Neil, if you're watching, clarify what you meant with your comment about Lance.
I
And-
think we're right.
I think we
I
are.
think we're right.
And
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
and Neil, we'll just take you to lunch too. How about that?
But okay.
yeah,
there we go.
that one's on Broxton.
Second lunch person. Neil, get with the producer. We'll take you to lunch. Go to lunch with you as well. Love to hear all that's going on for you right now and talk more about the show. And then got another listener here that gave us a shout out in regards to gave me one. Felt bad that y'all didn't get my Tony Stark joke. So appreciate that.
We just don't really think
Steve,
you're that funny, Chase.
we got it. We just didn't laugh.
You weren't even on the show. You didn't even. I mean, I
As
guess
a
you-
spectator, I didn't laugh either.
So, anyways, thankful for all of our folks that have engaged.
But now you claim we have some giveaways coming up, some merch
Yeah.
stuff coming up.
Yeah,
what's
so-
the deal with that?
Okay, so a couple shout outs. Heard from a couple of our folks in the audience that are going to bring some things that we can give away
Okay.
from their businesses. And
Okay.
so got some hats coming and a couple other things possibly in the works. So those will be on the table in the days ahead. We can give those out. And then also confirmed this past week, order of 3 different styles
Okay.
of Journey hats that are coming in with a surprise piece of merch for the 5 of us in the room. And
So when will that be done?
we'll see. Maybe by next episode. I don't know.
Okay.
It's kind of in, it's getting ordered and then we'll have
Yeah.
to be taken care of and that kind of thing. So, but I think I'm gonna wrap up the merch that I've got for the 5 of us, and we're gonna open it on a episode.
Talk about ASMR.
That's one thing another thing in a long list of things that I really don't like is surprises. and opening things in front of people.
Wow.
Well, we'll make sure, David, when we get this this thing here to unwrap, we'll actually just let Broxton open it. He'll be the only one, camera on him.
yeah.
And the rest of us will just know we're getting.
You know his
The same
response.
thing.
gonna be
You don't like surprises.
What is
You don't
this?
like unboxing. We're gonna at a spur of the moment, we're going to unwrap you an outdoor hobby, and that'll be all three things in the same moment right there.
No.
It'll be an e-bike with a disc and you
In a
know,
book.
and a book,
disc golf book.
a disc golf book.
I mean, I think it'd be cool to have an e-bike, but I'm not going to spend my money on it.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like, really, a lot of the hobbies come down to, yeah, I might like doing that, but do I like it enough to spend any money on it? No.
That's why Doug and I play disc golf.
But how do you know that? That's
Because-
really, you don't have to answer, but that's really the question. How do you know you're not going to like it until you put in a little bit to see if you like it? You see what I'm saying? And you don't have to answer that.
I do
It's
see
just
what
a-
you're saying, but that
it's just
contradicts
rhetorical.
what I just said. I
No.
actually said I would probably like a lot of these things, but not enough to spend money on them.
But that's what I'm saying. How do you know that if you've never maybe gone the extra step to see if you actually really like these things? Just saying. So Lance,
I don't have to answer.
Yeah, it's rhetorical.
I got one more thing
All
to
right.
wrap up the giveaways for a second.
And I have a comment about the giveaways.
All right, my thing is
Man, we're
this:
gonna have to mute his mic.
we will give away another brand new cup from episode 54. Will be our giveaway this week, and hopefully we'll have some more merch next week to give away. But we'll give another brand new cup away for episode 54 for the first person in the comment section that comments their name with new cup.
Yes, your actual government name. All right.
So that's all I have.
All right. So along,
And not your name. All right. Remember, because that was
Yeah,
some
like-
confusion. Like chasing Jeffrey Falk. That's what you put, not your name. You put,
You threw me out like that.
yeah.
I know, right?
Kind of like
Yeah,
he
last-
threw me out. Did you hear when he threw me out with being the higher number baseball player?
he said, I'm not going to expose you.
Yeah. You know how that works.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
So
14, baby.
last,
That's the last number, I think, Chase. I don't think they got past 14. That noggin, man. You couldn't get that shirt over that noggin.
I figured you would have gotten a picture from Dad with me as a young
Oh,
baseball player.
Well, I had forgotten about it until it was too late. So anyway, last thing on the giveaways. I need to put this out in the public. Okay. So I have dubbed Mitch to be keeper of the contest because I'm not keeping up with all this. And I had enough go on last week with just getting the show out that I don't want to be responsible for anything having to do with merch or giveaways or anything like that. Austin asked me about merch. We were actually talking about merch before he informed me that the channel was gone. And so
Well,
I just said, talk to Chase. This is
Mitch-
all Chase's thing.
Mitch and I can take care of the giveaways. We're working on that. I have got some merch going, but again, for those that don't like the type of merch that I have coming, I need some ideas. So maybe in the comment section.
Yeah, I like that.
And
Let us
so
know.
I think we should even put it on Mitch if he's keeper of the contest to his comment every week needs to be, here's an idea for next week's contest. And then he's responsible for
Maybe.
monitoring.
For the execution.
We need him to for sure comment the winner of this contest was.
And so that does a lot of things. It takes all of that off of our plate, but it also, again, makes people always be tuned in to the channel so that they can see who won the contest.
So if you
when
want
Mitch announces it.
you want to win something, hit your guy Mitch up, work it behind the scenes. All right.
All right. Anything else having to do with contest or giveaways or responding to comments?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
All right. So let's see. There are a couple things that I did not write down that I meant to write down. We didn't have any emails this week. Mike Bailey commented and said, another great episode, guys. That was on Substack, but that did not warrant printing out a sheet of paper. So thank you, Mike. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Sir.
Keep it up. Another thing I did last week is I added some more social media channels. I haven't done Facebook and Twitter yet. I'm kind of iffy on whether or not I want to do those. But since the YouTube channel's back, we're live with the YouTube shorts and obviously Instagram and TikTok. So you can follow us at JourneyPodRBC on Instagram and TikTok. And if you're already subscribing to the YouTube channel, then you're going to see the YouTube shorts. That was one thing we need to get out of the way. Another thing, before we get into, actually talking about something serious maybe, is we have 2 new podcast reviews. So people are listening. Well, I mean, we know
They're
people
not
are,
just watching, but they're still listening.
they're watching,
as well.
they're listening, and they're following instructions by leaving us a review on your podcast platform of choice. And so I was going to read one, but as I pulled it up to read it, I noticed we have another one.
Oh,
Even better.
So we're now up to 12 ratings on Apple Podcasts. We really need to get that up. But the first one that I wanted to read was from Philip Jordan. Lance, I believe you know Philip.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Does he still work with you on your show?
He has me on his podcast.
yeah. I thought he
every
had
once in a
his
while.
own show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we should probably have Philip on the show because he gets the, what do we call it? The content industry, if you will. Man's doing like 3 or 4 different podcasts. So anyway, so a couple weeks ago, Philip gave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast, which again, like Auburn said last week, if you have a 1-star review, do not leave that.
Just email us. Let
Email
know
us
how
at-
we can.
Yeah.
We can.
thejourney@rbcdothan.org, and we'll put it on our hate mail segment. So Philip Jordan says, love this show and look forward to it each week. Show just has a great flow and feels like I'm getting to listen in on meaningful conversations between friends each time. Also, how can y'all talk about the Express and not mention the roast beef hoagie?
Yeah, he's got a point.
He
The
does.
gravy on the side and not on the sandwich is to move, by the way. Thanks for all that you do.
The
point.
gravy there, that is the move.
Speaking of which, Aaron Johnson put me on another best dish in Dothan.
Oh, did he?
He said the fried fish at Captain Hook's.
I'm telling you.
It was so good.
What kind you get?
I got the 2-piece with
Just catfish?
yeah.
No, get the flounder.
Really?
Oh man,
I'm there.
Yeah.
He just got fish.
yeah, man, I could eat that today. Actually, I probably shouldn't.
I got the kind that swim.
Man, the flounder. I'm telling you, it's the little lemon pepper season that they
Yeah.
put on there too, with the cocktail sauce,
That was good. Oh, so I'll get the flounder next
and it's
time.
nice and crisp. You know, it's that thin layer. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that review.
We appreciate it, Philip.
Awesome to hear.
Yeah, thank you.
We might need to go to the Express.
Yeah.
Maybe so. All right. I don't know how to, I think
This is Zach.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name,
Let me
but
see.
I feel like I know who we're talking about here.
DeGuero.
Okay. Do you have it pulled up? You want to read it?
Yeah, I got it right here. I just got into listening to podcasts in the last year, and this is one of my favorites. I love the authentic conversations between everyone about all aspects of our walk. With Christ, the Journey t-shirts or coffee mugs would be cool.
Mhm.
You know, we used to have, in my office, I have a Journey coffee mug.
The black one?
Yeah.
We still have.
Yeah, but those aren't
is that
Journey
still the-
podcast mugs.
But they're related
You know,
cousins.
I mean, I've been looking for a different gift bag, primary gift, but I don't know if we want to take gift bag rejects and make it our merch, though.
Just
Well, the way I see it is you're over that ministry and you're also on this ministry. So
But we could for sure get one to Zach,
That we could do.
you know?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
come see Broxton in his office.
probably won't answer the door.
I got keys.
And
We
it's,
all got
I think
keys.
it's a budget line that David controls. So there's that too.
Is it
So
really
bring him in the
community
loop.
awareness?
the
all right.
t-shirt idea. That's not a bad
I
That's a
like
good
that,
one.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
could go with a comfort color, some kind of t-shirt design. So, David,
Yeah, again, if you have merch questions, do not come see me. Talk to Chase. And then Chase will talk to David about designing the shirt. So
would you wear a Journey t-shirt since you don't wear a hat?
I certainly would.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the hats are a little generic in regards to like not necessarily just talking podcasts. So
Yeah.
I think if we do a shirt or a coffee mug, we would need to do a little more branding to the podcast.
I can see that.
all right, I think that covers all the administrative stuff. Steve did tell us or told me yesterday that watching last week's podcast almost got him teared up a little bit.
Oh, that's neat because he's a OG
Yeah.
for all that.
He's an OG Ridgecrest. And so he, I think his words were just, basically the three of us, he's kind of watched us grow up.
Yeah.
And so I think that kind of hit him in his feels a little bit.
Yeah, he talked to me last night a little bit, and he has some, vested interest in helping and getting things going in the way that he does with different things. And so, and I've had multiple people talk to me recently, just different folks that I didn't know watched or listened. And
Yeah.
I think my granddad posted on the
Excellent program. Keep them coming.
on the
Dougie OG fresh.
Doug Senior posted on the Facebook link or the post there. So just cool to see that. So thankful for everybody that's listening, watching, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, dinging, everything else.
Yeah.
All right.
When we get the reels going, we really need to share those. That was my plan to do that last week, and then everything fell
And your
apart.
whole world fell apart.
So maybe this week we'll get a backlog of them going, so we can always have something to post every single day. All right.
Let's jump into some meaningful,
I got some.
Okay.
Good deal.
All
Let's
right.
go with it.
All right. So we've got at least 3 topics to talk about.
Oh, well, if you already had stuff.
No, I want
go
to hear
for it.
what you have first.
Well, you bring in the terminology when your world is falling apart. You want to go there? You want to go in that direction? Because that's kind of what my topic has to do with.
We can do that.
So y'all make fun of me about, stress level 0 to chase. Okay. And even Lance,
We should trademark that.
Even me.
you sent something recently that said your stress level was closer to chase than 0.
That needs to be on a shirt or a hat or
Yeah,
something.
that-
0 to chase.
David.
With just steam at the end.
So I found myself in a 0, nowhere near 0, very much in a chase situation last week, and it was not very pleasant. You kind of mentioned that a little bit, and it seems as if maybe with you thought whatever you just said. What did you say?
Your
about-
world was falling apart.
your world was falling apart a little bit with the podcast. So I guess as I walk through those situations in my life, the reoccurring theme that comes back that I feel like is some sort of, word from the Lord. And like, as I kind of work through that stuff is like, I just don't trust him.
Mm.
And the reason I'm stress level chase is because I'm trying to control everything and be chase instead of let it go and go back to 0 and just let the Lord take care of it. So recently in all of that and some different passages and different things, it's just come back to this idea of trust, hoping in Christ, letting go, those kind of things. So I guess just in my kind of frame of mind of where I currently am, I was going to ask y'all, like, what helps y'all to just really trust and live that out as you feel as if your world is kind of going crazy?
I guess if I had a good answer for that, I wouldn't have been at that chase stress level over the last couple of months or so. But I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, I just don't trust him, because the word that kept coming back to me was control. And I had pretty much, for the most part, been able to wrestle my schedule and my life into a schedule and a kind of a format that I could manage with minimal stress. And I had it pretty well set, I think. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You don't want to try to purposefully put stress in your life, right? But the past couple of months that's been blown up with a whole lot of additional things that get added to the schedule that get you out of that, what you had controlled on your own. And I wish I had a good answer as to kind of what gets you back to where you need to be and more grounded. But I did, in the midst of all that, certainly did try to remember that it's just a thing that you have to deal with sometimes, and that that God's still in control no matter what your schedule thinks. But we think our schedule is what's the most important thing. That was what it was for me.
I don't know that I have a good answer to this question, so I'll hear everybody else's answer first.
I don't think there is a good, because we've all been to that.
Yeah, I don't think
Chase
there
stress
is.
level.
I mean, yeah, I think a lot of it either comes down to the idea of control and wanting to be in control. And I know, like for me, I mean, my wife would probably say I'm OCD, but I don't really think I'm like extreme OCD. Maybe, maybe to some extent, but I think some of it has to do with control. But for me, a lot of it has to do with like just routine and like wanting things this way. And like, if they're supposed to be this way, then like, that's how they're supposed to be. And oftentimes our frustration comes when they're not the way they're supposed to be. And it's like, all right, well, you have to, for me, I'm like asking myself, okay, well, did I do something that changed the situation, or do I have any control over the situation? And oftentimes we don't. And so it's like, you've just got to be okay to not be in control of the situation, even though we want to be in control of the situation. But do we really want to be in control of the situation? Like, we really don't want to play God in a sense, but it's like, that's kind of what we're accustomed to in our mind, is just like having our hand on everything.
Well, and I think, to me, control and unknown. And I think the unknown is still a desire for control.
Yeah.
But, where I found myself is a couple scenarios that there was just unknown, and it was waiting on the unknown.
Yeah.
That led to this, my brain was spinning. I was constantly kind of trying to think that through, figure this out. I couldn't do anything about the situations,
Right.
but I was trying to figure out what could I do.
Yeah.
And so
Almost like trying to not hurry up, but like speed up God's figuring it out.
right. And like at the end of the day, with both situations, like I did, in my frame of mind, at least practically speaking to the situation, everything that I could have done to help the situation, basically. You know what I mean? And so it finally got to this point, and that was a little bit of a freeing moment, but then I just can't, it was just so hard to not just keep spiraling through the unknown, and I don't have control of this. I'm waiting on this, and I'm having to, work through it all. And so, and it's just, I think the hardest thing is one, a lot of times internally you're affected by it, but then externally, everybody around you is affected by it, and really those that are closest to you. And I think that is one of the hardest things on this side of it, to just think back to the way I acted, the way I've responded to the kids, or to Lee, or to, even a couple scenarios here in the office, to folks. And I responded out of, the chaos that was going through my head. It wasn't the person, it wasn't them. And it's just, man, you just like, why am I letting this, control me like it does? And David and I were in a situation one time, and I remember him, so vividly saying, control what you can control. And, he was speaking that to somebody else, but it was something that I've rolled through my head now. Like, there are just scenarios and situations that I have no control over, and I shouldn't let those scenarios really, dictate the way I live my life. And so 1 Peter chapter 1 has been very helpful over the last couple of days for me, just for our listeners. But verse 5, I was reading it slowly this morning. It just says, "And through your faith, God is protecting you by his power until you receive this salvation, which is ready to be revealed on the last day for all to see." It's talking about the eternal hope that we have in Christ. And I just was just so, the words, God is protecting you by his power, and in all scenarios on the journey, I think there was comfort brought that what I can see, what I can't see, what's going on in the lives of my kids, what's going on in the lives of, family situations and, known or unknown. God is protecting me and protecting us with his power.
It's interesting because, like, I was reading this morning. I've been reading through the letters to the churches in Revelation, and the church in Philadelphia, they weren't like this strong group. There was a lot of earthquakes and different things that would make them, be kind of almost like this poor group of people because of just the area they lived in. But it talked about that similar thing of like those who were faithful. It was essentially those who were faithful, they're going to persevere. And it added these different lists of basically in a roundabout way saying those who are faithful will have God's security because they're God's people. And it's kind of that same idea of like, in the midst of the chaos, when we do stay faithful, God will provide, and he always will provide. Now, it's not always how we want or in our time, like you're talking about, but it's that idea of, we don't have control. All we can control is that we're faithful in whatever it is, in whatever situation, and God will take care of the rest.
Yeah, I think that's important when you are in the midst of that you understand that the short-term resolution of what God has planned may not necessarily be what you like or what you prefer, but it goes back to trust, and that ultimately God is working things out to give himself the most glory. And who knows, whatever situation we're stressing about may not be about us.
Yeah.
And we tend to think that everything is about us. That's just our sin nature, but that's important. And that really does help bring that stress level down when you understand that.
Can you rephrase your question just a little bit?
Well, it's just when you feel as if your world is kind of turning upside down, what is how do you naturally respond to trust compared to stress level chase? I think that's what I'm trying to get at is like, I just find myself at stress level chase. And when I am at stress level chase, if you are in my wake, it's a roughy.
He gonna be breathing down you for sure.
It's a rough wake.
So that's why he threw that stapler down the hall at us last week. I'm just kidding.
I'm glad I'm not in Suite B.
So,
yeah, I don't know. I think something you said is something that I do a lot. You said that in these two situations you were talking about that you, at least to the best of your understanding and your knowledge, you felt like you had done your part in, resolving the conflict or doing everything that needed to be done to prevent the conflict to begin with. I think when I find myself in these kind of scenarios where I feel like, however you want to put it, whether the world's falling apart, all hell's breaking loose, whatever, whether it's true or not, I often put it on myself and, I question, did I do everything that I needed to do? Or like, was there something else that I could have done to prevent this? So like with the YouTube channel, it was kind of like, if I had done this way ahead of time, would I have like figured out that there was an issue? Are you okay over there? Oh. All right.
So with the YouTube channel.
Yeah. So if I had done what I needed to do ahead of time, this is really killing.
What is that?
There's something going on in the kitchen.
All right.
You probably can't hear it on the podcast, but it is distracting.
This is the first time I've heard this in this room.
Yeah.
I'd never been here when this is happening.
Anyways.
I'm trying to figure out.
You're beating yourself up about what you could have done possibly to prevent what caused your stress.
Yeah. So like sometimes I just wonder, is this really the result of something outside of my control, or was it something that was in my control? And whatever sphere of life it is, like, was there somewhere that I dropped the ball or could have done something differently? And I know that, sometimes, probably more often than I'm willing to admit, like it really isn't in my control, and it is a trust factor. But I think sometimes there are times that I could have done something differently. And so I don't know if I would say that I have a hard time trusting God in those things, but like, being clear on which it is, like, okay, is this my fault or is this something that's really out of my control? Because I think, Rich Wingo last night was talking about how at Man Church, how Satan loves average and Satan wants you to be average, and God is the opposite. God wants you to, John 10:10 that says Jesus came so that we would have life in abundance. And so we can unpack what that means, but I think probably one piece of it would be you don't need to be average and you need to be doing your best. And so for me, I guess sometimes those scenarios are like, this is not, people say when things are going against them, and it's always like, it's the devil. He's trying to get, well, probably not, probably you might could have done something a little bit differently. So I don't know. I don't know that I do a very good job trusting in those instances, because I don't know that I always have clarity on whether or not this is my fault or if this is legitimately something that was out of my control.
Yeah. Some of the worst levels of stress I think you'll feel is when you can look back and go, I dropped the ball right here and know that I did. And there's really nothing I can do to keep those circumstances or those consequences from happening based on that. And you have to, that is almost another avenue where you just have to learn to move on and to forgive yourself for dropping the ball. Cause we all do that a lot.
Well, it goes back to what Auburn's saying, just in the regards to faithfulness and obedience, okay, looking at these scenarios that you face on the journey, or we're facing on this journey of life, and asking ourselves the question and evaluating, taking a second, like, is the stress level I'm experiencing right now due to my lack of faithfulness and obedience to what the Lord has placed in front of me? And I think there are some things that I do see in my life that recently that can cause stress that is from that. And it's laziness, or it's, not wanting to deal with some hard things, or just kind of passivity in some ways of just kind of letting some things happen compared to really just being average instead of being all in committed, like he talked about last night, which was a great message, by the way. And it'll be available for folks to see and listen to in the days ahead if they weren't there last night. But but then there's situations that, like I'm speaking of, from at least a couple of things that, again, I confidently felt that, there were things that were in front of me that I could work through to navigate helping the situation. And I felt confident that I worked through those. And then at that point, there was nothing else really to be done. And so I think that's the thing that you got to wrestle with a little bit as we walk through this stressful journey. And again, my natural response, though, is to point the finger to something else versus come back and point the finger at me and really evaluate some of these things and ask myself that question. Have I really been faithful to do what I need to do in this situation or not?
How does like this conversation impact how you, I don't know if set goals is the right term, but like in terms of, your confidence that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing in ministry, or I guess just in life in general, when these kinds of things come up and you have to, I don't know, like take a detour to kind of evaluate where is my trust. How does that impact going forward what you do or don't do? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I think what maybe you're getting at is that if you, for lack of a better term, if you made a decision that caused something to fail, or at least that's your your evaluation, then are you going to be a little bit more timid next time out to do maybe what is a bit of a risk or maybe what is called for in your ministry? And are you going to be in a little bit more of a shell going forward? Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah, I think maybe, I don't know if this is like a bigger topic that would warrant its own episode, but I've been thinking about goals some lately, and this all goes back, like several episodes to, y'all kept asking me, what do I want? Like when it comes to spiritual frustration, what would satisfy or make that frustration go away? And so I think about that a lot in terms of like my own spiritual life, my ministry life, like my relationships, my friendships and stuff like that. And so if you just start thinking about, okay, well, you need to set better goals. Because a lot of people would say, self-help people would probably say, well, the reason that you feel frustrated or not grounded or whatever term you want to use is because you don't have anything like concrete that you're working towards in these areas of your life. And so the reason you're frustrated is because you're just doing a bunch of things and you're not aiming at a consistent target, I guess. And so I started thinking about that over the last couple months. And, when y'all asked me what I wanted, I made a list of things that I wanted, and we may have talked about this. So sorry if we did, but we don't remember. So
I don't remember talking about it.
well, I'm not going to list off,
That'll be episode 55.
No,
We'll be ready for that list next week.
Yeah,
I think that's interesting.
but I noticed something about the list that I was making was most of the things, there was probably 14 or 15 things on there,
lofty list.
Man, it might be 3 hours on that episode. Bring your popcorn, folks.
Bring us some popcorn.
Lex Friedman will listen to it and go, man, that's a long podcast.
yeah.
Is that the
And
Fear
only
Factor
people
guy?
that listen to podcasts will know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. But
I think I need to go on Lex's podcast and he needs to come on the
There
journey
you go.
because I feel like our temperaments are so
it's similar.
dry and
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, that's,
Okay. So you looked at your list and you came to a conclusion about the list. And what was that conclusion?
well, I think one of the main conclusions is that these are, like I said, there might've been 14 or 15 things on there. I would say probably 12 or 13 of those were not what I would call necessarily tangible.
Mhm.
They were more qualities
Mhm.
or character traits or I don't know, just things that I wanted to be rather than things I want to do
Mhm.
or things I want to achieve, I guess. And so I started thinking about that in terms of everything I know about goal setting. And it's these things don't fit well into you need to set a smarter goal and it needs to be specific, measurable, whatever the rest of them.
So your frustration is that what you want to be is not very measurable.
Yeah. And so,
Maybe he is a bot.
yeah, it's not measurable, but also I think there's a lot of cognitive dissonance going on in my head of it would be very easy for me to say, okay, goal setting framework for me doesn't work. So therefore it doesn't exist. And then I just throw all of it out. But I don't think that would be wise either. I do think there are things in my life and in my ministry that can be an achievable goal. And I don't need to just not shoot for those things just because these other things I want, I'm not necessarily a big goal person and I can't set a SMART goal for all these things. So there's all this stuff going on in my head of okay, I need to be a little bit more goal oriented on some things, but then over here, the one thing that I want the most in life or several things that I want to be true of me aren't attainable in that way.
Mhm.
And then, so it's okay, how do I redeem the time and structure my life in such a way that I feel like A, I'm doing what I know God's called me to do, and B, I'm trusting him with it. But also trusting him doesn't mean that I'm just going to like I have to put forth effort into this and go in a direction.
A couple things I think about when you bring all that up is going back to the first question, how do you respond, I guess, in a trial or in a difficulty or in uncertain, uncontrollable scenarios? My natural response to that is to just kind of sit in it. I just kind of want to sit. I just kind of get distracted. I try to feel the stress with something, of some sort. I don't know if that makes sense or not. And sometimes that's honestly just eating. I mean, I can stress eat, and man, last week
what was you eating?
Just junk.
That's what I do.
Anything.
Yeah.
I mean, chips or like cashew. I mean, just like
Cashews.
I'm just telling.
I may or may not have been at the spot a couple of times in the last few weeks with 4 bags of potato chips that I left. I'm just saying.
But that's so I'm trying to feel it. If it's at night, it could be scrolling. It could be just finding YouTube videos or looking at eBay or looking at social media on my iPad because it's not on my phone. But I'm trying to. But I'm just. It's just sad that
Cheater.
He wants to be a part of the community, but not on his phone.
Yeah. And so it's just sad though because I sit in the scenario and I try to feel the void of the scenario of the stress with all this other junk instead of taking time to pray or, releasing some things, letting go, reading, that kind of stuff. And so a lot of time, but then also like in a work setting or a goal setting situation where it's like, okay, I can't just like sit here and do nothing all day.
Can't just pout the rest of the day.
Yeah. I mean, I can't when you get home, I mean, there's 4 kids running around and I can't just like go to the room and just shut the door, and you're trying not to like let them see this on you. They probably notice a lot of the pantry opening up, but like they're
Dad,
like,
are you okay? That's your 8th bag of Pop.
Exactly.
It's your 8th bag of Pirates booty.
I mean, Lee can definitely, she sees it. And, but the kids, not necessarily yet, but you can't just check out like Lance is saying. So, there's still things I guess have to be, that you can kind of do. But I guess for me, when you talk about being versus doing and goals and that kind of thing, I'm not a big goal setting person. Don't think it's a bad thing, but at the end of the day, like there's some main things that I've written down on my daily, to do that doesn't necessarily have to do with a practical goal other than some sort of like, I mean, one of the things is people, ministry is about people, and I can go through my entire day and do things in my office and none of them impact a single person. And so what helps me to be focused sometimes is, okay, I just have to stop and think about people. Who is somebody and how can I encourage them today? And those are things that help me feel as if I've done something, even though I'm in the middle of a scenario where I don't want to do anything, or I don't really know what to do, or I get distracted by these other things. It's trying to go back to stuff like that. People, is a big thing. And so I guess going to your be versus doing, and this is the last thing I'll say in regards to that, is I think I'd rather you have a list of what you want to be. But I guess the practical side of that would be asking yourself, okay, I want to be more patient. So what sub line underneath that, what is something that would help me to be that?
Go drive on the circle.
And figure, you know what I mean? Like, so if being more patient or being more loving, or being less stressed.
You mentioned that, a lot of your list wound up being qualities, but you also did set a goal. You wanted to read the Bible in 30 days.
You're going to bring that up at 1 hour and 1 minute.
That's going to be for the
seconds?
next episode. But it'll be a
bring
good,
that and your list of 14 things.
it'll
I'm
be
not
a,
reading. I'm not reading off that list.
it'll be a good teaser.
It's a good vulnerability thing. I think you need to do it.
Well, it would be, but I'm not doing that.
But you said, I don't even think I'm reading it to get anything out of it. And then we had this, what do you even mean by getting something out of something? But you said 40 years from now, 30 years from now, I commit to this and it's going to be imprinted on me. And I think that's what helps you fulfill the qualities that you want to be. The more of that you have in you comes out and it winds up fulfilling all those other goals. And we can talk a little bit more about that the next time, but I think that's a good way of, okay, I want to be this kind of person. Well, how do I get there? That's one way to do it.
Okay.
Last question, unless you got something else.
Let's look at the list. I have a couple things, but it can be another episode.
It's good to walk into the next episode with stuff.
So on episode 53, Dad called you out with a question.
You did.
Got any peace from the Lord in regards to that?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, because he's only got one more week. Fire's on.
I am going to co-facilitate a group.
Hey, clap yourself up over there.
Hey, we couldn't really hear that, David. Could you cut us up? Cut that up? What did you say?
I'm going to co-facilitate a man church group.
Oh, so yeah.
It's going to be a good group. It's already coming together. So
What
Do my co-facilitators know this yet?
yeah,
'Cause I haven't talked to them.
they know you're going to be in the group and they're more than happy for you to join in the facilitation.
what would you say led to this decision? How did you finally, I wouldn't say you were fearful of doing it, but it was just kind of one of those things like you're kind of on the fence. How'd you get over the fence?
I don't know. I really don't think it's that deep.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to. I
guess
don't.
that's the
The
episode,
one
folks.
thing that Broxton came to the realization of, this is just really not
Yeah.
that deep.
It's just not important.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind
All right. Well,
of.
thanks for joining us, y'all.
I'm kind of tired of being asked about it. So I mean,
That was
that's
what
not
it all
like-
boiled down
Yeah.
to.
that's not like the only reason, I guess. But
He's gonna write a Substack that's gonna be called The Reluctant Facilitator.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the title.
Well, I'm sure all of our audience were sitting on the edge of their seats waiting from episode 53 to know what your answer was going to be. So
I doubt it, because that was the last thing that we talked about on episode 53. And I haven't looked at the graph, but I'm willing to bet that people might have turned it off by then. So,
which would be very similar to this situation.
so like they're not going to hear that. They're not going to hear this conversation either. So
But I guess I bet Dad will, so he'll know.
he
for
will.
sure.
And he's going to hear it, and he's going to be upset that it's not his
It's
group,
not his group.
because there
Oh, I
was,
didn't know that.
yeah. So
It's
I
not
hope you
impor-
feel
It's
that.
not important. We don't have to discuss it anymore.
All right. Well, apparently Auburn's done with the episode.
Yeah. I mean, I shot down. Let's shoot it down.
But it's going to be a good group, and unfortunately, we'll be losing Broxton in our group, but that's okay.
Well, it's time. I need to be with my own people, Lance.
That's right.
I'm excited for you, man. Maybe that'll become your hobby.
I was excited, but I'm not anymore.
Man, it sounds like they need to go hash something out over there after this episode.
Kurt asked us if we wanted to go to lunch.
Yeah, he did mid-episode.
I have homework from Chase that may preclude me from being able to go, but y'all can go.
Well, we could work through the homework I gave you in our meeting if you want to, if you would like to go to lunch with us.
Actually, it's going to weigh on me if I don't go ahead and handle it.
Man, that was the best when you had an assignment in high school, but then the teacher said, "Nah, don't worry, we'll do it. We'll do it in class tomorrow."
I gave you an out. We could talk to Kurt about it. He'd be good help too.
I've just got it's a good thing. I've got 32 more men to try to figure something out on.
All right. Well, that is officially the end of the episode, because Auburn's ready to go. So
Yeah. I mean, I was hyped up for you and you just shut me down. So yeah, let's just end it. Why?
I don't know that I want to go eat lunch with him now. I feel like he's just going to be mad the whole
I
time.
know. I'm over it. I'm good.
Don't forget,
Depends on where you eat, right?
don't forget new cup and your name
Yeah.
we might
you
have to
will
get a silver
receive-
Sharpie.
Yeah, from here on out,
I looked for one. I couldn't find it.
from here on out, if you don't receive your prize, talk to Mitch about it.
Come to
'cause
Broxton's office,
he's-
Sweet Bee.
Mitch is keeper of the contest. I moved down to the basement, so talk to
No,
Mitch
he
about
didn't.
it. Leave us a review on Apple Podcast if you're listening, or Spotify, or your podcast platform of choice, whatever you listen on. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this episode, leave a comment, write to us at thejourney@rbcdothan.org. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at JourneyPodRBC, and please share the episode.
Other than that,
Yeah, other than that, we don't really ask you to do
Sure.
that much. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.